Now we're going to get into twist game. All right. And so the twist game is more pass related. All right. When we're coaching the twist game, the first thing that I do is I coach the concepts. All right. We don't coach the calls right away. We coach the concepts. So we'll start here. All right. The text concept. All right. And we try to use word association. All right. So the text concept is the tackle first and the end second. Okay. Go back here. Again, that first guy is the penetrator, and your second guy is the looper. All right. And then we have the X concept. Now it's the end man first, the tackle is second. Okay. And we want that tackle to make contact with the offensive lineman and then loop out here late. Okay. Then we have our eat concept, which is a three-man movement. All right, we'll bring this end around, EAT. We'll bring this end around, and we tell him to find daylight. We don't say get in the A gap, get in the B gap. His job is to find daylight. Okay, you're going to see these on film here shortly. And then our inside two, we have a cut call where the three technique will penetrate, and the nose tackle will make contact, and he will loop. Then if we ever make a jet call, all four guys are just going to tee off vertical. Okay. And I put this on here just so you can see once we teach the concepts, we can really do whatever we want. All right. We can get into some of our third down fronts where we go 2-3s or two shades or whatever it is, or just out of our base over front. And we can now put all these words together. We can run a text on one side. We can run it on both sides. We can run a text on one side and an X on the other side. You know, you can really put together a lot of really cool stunts once they know the concepts, right? All they need to know is what the concept is. Then they don't have to memorize the play calls. All right, they just have to listen to the concept and know what that is. Okay, so we'll start off with text. Okay, so in this picture here, we're going to actually run a text right here. So the tackle will penetrate vertical. So the tackle's aiming point on text is the near shoulder of this offensive tackle. All right, if that near shoulder goes away like it does, we're going to continue on and take it through the B gap. All right, if that shoulder would come down on us, all right, the thing we can't do is we cannot get pinned in the B gap. So if that shoulder comes down, we got to bounce this thing out for contain. All right, so it's a nice job of taking it through the B gap and why we do. The edge guy is going to take 2 to 3 hard steps up the field. He has to sell the jet pass rush. All right, I would say this is a little early right here. All right, we want him to sell that thing, and we want this thing to happen 2 yards up the field. That's a little quick on the loop. Okay, here we are again. Okay, now the shoulder of this tackle came down. So he cannot get pinned inside of this B gap because now we do not have a contained player. All right, so he does a great job at working outside and continuing to be a pass rusher. Really, really good job. Same thing, the shoulder comes down, so he works out. Okay, now the thing that can happen happened on the other side. So this guy got pinned. So you can see when he gets pinned, now all of a sudden this quarterback can get out of the pocket and either run or have vision to throw the football. So that's why we cannot get pinned in the B gap. Not a good job executing that. And I think it's good for you guys to see some bad clips so you know what not to do and why not to do it. So this is a nice job by the looper. He sees the quarterback's getting ready to throw it. And so instead of just getting himself up in there and rushing, he stops and just gets his hands up. So that's really good vision by him to do that. All right, now we move to X. So again, X is the end man first. Okay, so this end's going to penetrate. We want this tackle to make contact. He does a nice job making contact right here to buy the eyes and body of this guard to give this A gap. And so now when we loop around, we're in good shape. So that's a really nice job by the tackle. Okay, here we're doing it out of a 3 technique. And so now the 3 technique is going to sell that he is rushing to the A gap to allow, again, to buy the eyes and body of that guard, to allow that end to get inside and then loop around. Obviously, got a little holding there. They probably didn't call it because they usually don't. All right, so nice job penetrating by the end. So really good movement there. All right, so then we got mix. So what mix is, now we're going to mix the text and the X. So we're going to run a text on one side and an X on the other. All right, so you can see this here. We're running a text to the right and an X to the left. Again, we're just putting these things together. The general rule is the side with the 3 technique runs the text, the side with the shade runs the X. So that's how they know who has the text and who has the X. So in this picture, this is the text side, this is the X side. It's a nice job by the nose making contact and then looping. Not a good job staying upfield shoulder. We can't get outflanked right there. We got to stay on that upfield shoulder. Again, we have a text on the right as we're looking at it and an X on the left. It's a really good job by 92 at taking it through the B gap right here. This shoulder is away, so just go ahead and take it through the B gap and work back into the quarterback. Really good job. I really like how the end took it up the field 2 to 3 steps. Right now, this looks like a jet rush, and then we hit that thing on the run. It's a really good movement. Really nice job. Now the shoulder comes down, so he's got to get outside of this. So the quarterback tries to escape out here, and he shows up just like he's supposed to. That's a phenomenal job. Okay. Now we got the cut twist. The 3 technique will be first. The nose will be second. So that penetrator, what I tell those tackles, when you're penetrating, See, this nose is trying to get contact on the center. If the center slides away, we're going to bang and climb. If the center were to slide to me, I'm just going to cross his face right now. And if he just goes straight back, I'm just going to make a way. I'm just got to bang it and make a way. So this is a nice job of banging and climbing. 99 sets this up by getting hands on, and 50 is able to just ear hole that sucker and give him a little taste of his own medicine. All right. Now we got the eat stunt. Now we got 3 guys involved. Okay, now these 3 guys are involved. Now the end's going to loop inside. Remember we said daylight. So we don't give him a place. So he does a nice job at staying square. What you don't want to do is you don't want to turn your shoulders and run sideways. You want to stay square so that you can insert whenever you see daylight like he does here, and he gets picked up. But it's a good. He did what he's supposed to do. Same thing here. He looped the daylight. We ate up the offensive line and picked up the add-on. Heck of a job. Again, loop the daylight. I can't tell you where that daylight's going to be. You just got to find it. So if this end were to up and under right now, the daylight might be out here, so you might go all the way around the horn. All right, then our jet call. Now we're just free rushing. Now all 4 guys are just getting vertical and rushing the quarterback.